Salutare doamnelor și domnilor, astăzi l-am alături de mine pe unicul one and only Thomas Kralov. Thomas, welcome back to my channel.
Hey Mihai, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for having me on your channel.
With pleasure. So, as the title said, you are aspiring to become the billion-dollar man in the crypto industry.
Working on it very heavily. And if God provides, collectively we'll achieve this target.
Okay, so I will start because the last time we met, it was like September last year, and a lot of changes happened in the market space. And from my perspective, I think the most important it is the Bitcoin ETF and
Ethereum ETF. Yeah,
and
that's what
also,
nobody expected it, but it happened.
Yeah, but now I think the unexpected could happen. It is the supply shock, because almost every day I'm looking at exchanges and I see some exchanges in the top 20 that have almost zero Bitcoin.
Yes, absolutely. Like right now, there is record lows amounts of Bitcoin on the exchanges, which in my opinion is also the supply shock that is brewing probably is going to be of monumental proportions. And I'm just looking forward to how big it's going to be.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when I have meetings or I chat with them, they ask me, but why MicroStrategy or the high whales, they don't sell? And I'm telling, for example, if you are selling your stash when the Bitcoin is 80, and then the Bitcoin is 60, but you sold 100,000, you will not buy back 100,000 Bitcoin at 60.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think all these players and the institutionals, they're into this game for a long-term gain. They're not here to speculate up and down, like some of them a little bit, but mostly it's long-term.
I think, below 50 Bitcoin, you can speculate. But if you want to speculate with billions, you cannot speculate.
Yeah.
You have to be on the safe side, because other people will grab your Bitcoin and then you will buy
That's
it.
You're done.
I have a question. What is your opinion about Bitcoin ETF? Is something solid? Is something that would you invest in it?
I personally, I mean, I am the proponent of freedom in crypto and the rights of people to self-custody their crypto. So would I be buying an ETF now? Because I don't think so, because I can self-custody my own crypto. I think that the ETF is more for institutions, that they need some kind of a legitimate way of gaining exposure to Bitcoin. But me personally, I'd rather have my own Bitcoin in my own pocket, in my own cold wallet.
But let's say tomorrow you start like an investment fund. Would you buy Bitcoin or would you buy ETF? I mean, would you cancel the idea of buying ETF?
If I were to start a fresh fund, or if I were to allocate my own fresh capital right now, it would probably depend on how much money it is. If it's in millions or billions, it would probably be the ETF or self-custodying Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum. But if it's anything less than $1 million, I'd probably be starting to look at some top pick altcoins and Ethereum rather than Bitcoin.
What do you think, because this is the topic a lot of people ask me, what do you think about investing in the new projects, like the project that you saw, emerging this year versus the projects from 2021 bull market and 2017 bull market? Which kind of project would you choose?
I would choose the right project in the right narrative, in the project that has good marketing and actually solves some kind of a problem in the market. Because there is so many meme coins that they're pumping, but they're pumping just because of marketing. It's great, but it's not very predictable. What you want is a solid fundamental project, but also with amazing marketing. And that's what I would focus on. So is it from 2021, from 2017? It doesn't matter. What matters is what they're doing, who is following them, their community, and the power of their marketing and the narrative. If it's in, for example, NFTs, that's not the best. Gamify may be better. AI, definitely better. DEXs and DeFi, pretty amazing. So these are the narratives I would be looking in the direction of.
So DEXs, you also think that are cool projects?
In my opinion, it depends on the regulation and what is going to be happening with Mihai and also what's going to be happening in the US. But for the next 1, 2, 3 years, I think that the DEXs will dominate Texas in some sense for at least the next few years for sure.
Talking about DEXs and projects, I know that you have started the big one by yourself. So I want to know more about that.
We're building, well, see, I've been in the market for many years and I've been a trader for about 10 years and I have like 2.5 million followers myself. So we've spoken to people quite a bit. And we have a lot of requests from different people with different pains and people whose rights are being violated to their own property, to the access to the market, to their privacy. And it's quite frankly, it's, you know, the less people become, the more people become, the more people move away from religion, the less control the big powers in the world actually have. So they need some kind of a way to control people. And in my opinion, this way of controlling people is through controlling their money. So we want to create impact with my power, the power of my money, which I'm putting all into my new project that we're working on, which is Event Horizon. And hopefully as a collective power, we can make a difference. Because once we create the project itself, we're going to give it away to the people, the full governance and the control of the project, we're going to give fully to the people. So yeah, that's what we were building.
And for the people that are not so technical, can you describe the solution that you are building?
Well, the solution itself, for now, we are still trying to keep under wraps a little bit because we want to create a lot of very viral marketing around it. And we want people to participate from day one. And also, if your audience wants to participate, we can drop a link to Event Horizon for June 1st. Because the launch of the first tasks and the participation opportunity will be from June 1st at invite.eventhorizon.tech. So the idea of the platform itself, not to give too much away, is going to be a platform where everybody's financial rights are respected, where people own their own crypto, where they actually gain exposure and knowledge of how to actually be self-sufficient and actually be free and actually gain access to whatever they've been gaining access to for many years, but do it in a safe, self-custody way and without any stupid questions from people who shouldn't give a shit about their money. So that's just as much as I can give you right now. But people can participate and start learning what it is as they go.
So the focus of the project, it is the respect for the freedom of people, for the freedom of money.
That's right, yes, because in my opinion, one of the most important things in life after health, love, and happiness is money. Money is everything. And when there is so much control over everybody's money, it just is unfair. So there has to be a solution in a world where people can actually own their own money and where they can have control over it and actually can do whatever they want with it without anyone knowing what the hell they're doing, which is, in my opinion, their right, their birthright to begin with.
That is amazing. So in the description of this video, we will put a link for all the people that want to participate on this amazing journey that you are creating. And if anyone has questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. We will do the best to answer. And coming back to the crypto narrative, do you think the bull market is over?
I think it's only getting started, my friend. I think that Donald Trump will probably win the election because he's starting to use this crypto narrative and the Democrats don't like crypto and Biden cannot do anything about it. So the elections are coming up and they will probably also stimulate the general economy. M2 money supply is starting to curve, which means that they will probably start printing money at some point, maybe at the end of this year, beginning of next year, who knows? So stimulus will be around the corner. Just it's questionable whether it's going to be after recession or before. So that we'll see. I mean, short-term volatility is difficult to predict. But in my opinion, with everything we're seeing in terms of the ETFs, and especially the Ethereum ETF, I think we are only at the very beginning, my friend. Very, very, very well might be.
Do you think there is because people, they think about the risk of Bitcoin going below 50. And I don't see how, because, the 200 moving average is there. It's 53, almost 54.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it happening. Currently, the only reasons that could trigger such a sell-off could be global war, maybe China, Taiwan, maybe Russia, Ukraine, or Russia, NATO escalation, which none of them can afford. So maybe some kind of another pandemic or some kind of other bullshit, but something that has 1% probability of happening. So in other words, another black swan event. If there is no stupid black swan event, I think that the worst case scenario for Bitcoin right now is 60K, maybe between 60 and 70, maybe some kind of movement up and down before final takeoff closer to the autumn and to the elections. So that's my worst case.
How far do you think we are from the banana phase?
Banana phase. Eh, probably 6 months. Banana phase will probably begin in 6 to 8 months, and then we'll continue into 2025, probably somewhere there, approximately. It's hard to predict it, really. When is that? Because banana phase is always attributed to the global liquidity, so it could be give or take 5, 6, 7, 8 months out with a accuracy of 3 to 4 months. So approximately.
Do you think it will be the same like 2021, like all the coins will fly, or?
It depends on one metric, in my opinion. It depends on how much money retail is going to have. Because for now, retail doesn't have much money. If you look at all the metrics, the savings are at the all-time low before even pandemic in 2020 and 2021. At the same time, credit card debt is very high, so people are barely making their ends meet, let alone buy full, stacks of Bitcoin. So it's gonna and other altcoins and shit. So it's gonna depend on that. But when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, those will pump like crazy. I mean, they will just pump on institutions like no tomorrow and retail. But then the rest of the coins will mostly depend on retail. So therefore, we really want to see what kind of stimulus there will be from the government, because if it's going to be very mild, which could be, then the retail could be still quite weakly positioned.
And do you see anything risky on the way of the crypto right now?
Not being in crypto.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
That's the biggest risk currently, in my opinion, because right now crypto is the asymmetrical bet, and with the inflation and without any other asset really providing any kind of performance to outperform inflation, there is nothing else. Like, I mean, crypto could go to zero, but if it does, it would just be a good bet. I just don't see any other bet. If you want to get rich, if you want to make life-changing money, yeah, that's the only way.
And do you think that Bitcoin has the possibility to go over 200K this cycle?
I would hope so. It's hard for me to predict, but I'm always using inverse consensus. The consensus currently is that it's probably going to top out at 150, 200, and like maximum. Some people are saying 120. So the last bull market, so many people were calling for crazy numbers like 100K, 200K, etc. And this time, a lot of people are calling again for like something mediocre because people kind of got burnt and they didn't sell the top. So in my opinion, what could happen at the end of the day is that we're going to have a more parabolic run than anyone has even anticipated. And we might even hit 500,000 per Bitcoin or more on some kind of a crazy wick to the upside. And everybody will be like, holy shit. And most people will exit at 150 at 200, and the institutions will carry it to 500,000. But it's only a speculation. It could go to 120 and then no more demand, it all crashes, recession, no money, Fed doesn't stimulate. It's unlikely, but it could happen as well. So we'll have to evaluate as we go.
Okay. Thank you very much, Thomas. It was a pleasure to have you here. Hope to catch you again after you are launching your project to speak in detail, to give details that we cannot share now with the people from Romania.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
I
good.
wish you all the best. I will support you the way I can. And
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Good to be here, and see you next time.
thank you. All the best.